What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous George and Goes reporting for duty here. We get to talk to one of the PFL's biggest rising stars, Dakota Ditcheva, who's got a big fight coming up on August 2nd in Nashville, Tennessee. The fights can be seen on ESPN. Remember, it is a Friday, and things get down at 6 p.m. Eastern for the prelims, 9 p.m. Eastern for the main card. She's on the main card, but she's not in the main event. That bugs me, Dakota. You should be in the main event.
I mean, I'm sure people would agree, but I don't. As long as I'm on the card, I'm happy, guys. You're going to see me perform anyway.
Yeah, but you're as sure of a thing as there is when it comes to an exciting fight. So listen to this. 12-0, you knew that. 11 11 TKOs, or sorry, 11 finishes, 10 by TKO, 1 submission. Shout out to the young lady that went the distance with you. 9 rounds, or sorry, 9 KOs in the first round alone. Like in 12 fights, you're in the 30 minutes range in terms of like actual time in the cage. Frankie Edgar did that in 2 fights because a lot of his fights used to go the distance, and he always fought these 25 round fights. So he's got like 600 minutes or something like that in the bank. You're getting down like I say, and I don't know. I no disrespect to Goldsoff, he's a great fighter as well. He's been featured in the PFL for a while now. And Tim Johnson, we had him on the other day, and he was nonchalant about it. But I don't know. You said it doesn't bug you though, right? You're not. This doesn't mess you up in any way.
No, not really. I know they put me the first round of the tournament. They put me on the undercard. I wasn't even on like the main card, so I wasn't going to be featured on ESPN. And then they changed it last minute and put me on the main card at the bottom because people were like commenting like, "Can't believe she's not on the card." So then the next fight they put me co-main event, and then the next fight for this one they put me co-main event again. So they definitely know that I need to be up there for sure because I'm bringing obviously the exciting fights and stuff. But yeah, I'm honestly, as long as I'm on the main card and I'm featured on the TV, I'm happy.
Can I tell you our history with your career? About a year ago, you're doing your thing in PFL Europe, and I think you might be 8-0 at that time, and we were pitched to have you on our show. I'll be honest, I always shoot people straight. Who was my reaction, right? Because MMA is so big with not just the UFC, PFL, Bellator was still in existence, won championship, BKFC, celebrity YouTube boxers. It's crazy. And then we had you on and you knocked it out of the park. You were really, really good in that first interview we had with you. And it actually did well traffic wise. Now, every time we have a conversation with the PFL, it's like, can we get Dakota? Can we get Dakota? Can we get Dakota? Has that also happened to you in your personal life with other media outlets as well? Like, have you seen that explosion in your career?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like a lot of people do want to interview me all the time, want to speak to me. I think sometimes they'll come out with like controversial comments, like a little, not shit talking, but a few like funny things. So I think people quite like that, and obviously, I do get a lot of traffic. Like I don't know whether it's the fact that I don't look like a fighter. People are quite entertaining. Plus, I'm a striker. It's kind of what a lot of people like about, my style. It's quite exciting. So I think just all them factors together kind of brings a lot of eyes for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you mess people up, and then, like I say, you know how to communicate in an interview or in the cage. It's the it factor.
Yeah.
Um, I want to connect you to, I guess, we had Misha Tate on our show yesterday, and we were talking about Ronda Rousey. With Ronda, she was similar to you, undefeated and just blasting people in the first round. And then a couple of losses really, really derailed her career. And she didn't quite recover, in my opinion, as an athlete, as a human being. Now she's putting out a book. She's bitter towards fans, bitter towards the media. How do you make sure that being undefeated and success isn't the only thing that makes you happy?
Yeah, I mean, I feel honestly I like always looked up to Ronda like first when I started before actually I started even training MMA. I really kind of watched her and was really inspired by her career and stuff. And it was really sad to see like the way it went and the way it planned out. But I suppose, like, you know, I know she's bitter about like the fans and things like that, but that's why I don't really read comments on the internet, and kind of I just stay like completely focused on the gym and my team and what my people think and what I think, you know. Even the good comments, I don't take too many good comments on either. Like, I really appreciate a lot of like um you know, nice words that people say and how people speak about how I'm going to be, you know, the next big fighter and things like that. But honestly, I just get my confidence from the way I'm performing in the gym and how hard I'm working and my dedication to myself, you know. So I think that's kind of what will keep me very humble and on the right path, and hopefully I'll be able to, you know, continue my career with, you know, the same way it's going now. But yeah, that's my main focus. I think media sometimes can ruin a lot of things, but it is a massive part of this sport, so it's hard to get that balance for sure.
That's a great answer. I do tell people to not focus so much on social media. What I actually say is scroll past the hate and get to your real fans. Lastly, Misha did say something interesting. She said, you know, a lot of us, meaning her, Rhonda, probably you now, your teammate Kayla, you have a lot of girls that look up to you, and a lot of girls are going and trying out for wrestling teams, even if it's just boys, right? Because they want to maybe get a girls wrestling team going, or taekwondo tournaments, you know, karate, all that stuff. You guys are literally inspiring a new generation. And the loss, you know, what people forget is the girls still want to be your, well, even boys too. The girls and boys, they still want to be your fans, you know, even in a loss, they're your fans. And that's, I don't know. Hopefully, I guess the learning lesson maybe from, I thought that was pretty smart. What Misha said was either way, those fans would have been with you, you know, even during a loss.
Yeah, and it's true, you know, the good ones, you have to be able to navigate a loss in the right way and the respectful way, the same way you have to navigate your wins. You know, you can't like, you can't just kind of shut everyone off when you lose. You've got to be able to keep that same example you're setting when you win in as you are when you lose it, because, you know, it can happen. It's not something that I'm going to accept myself. Like, I don't want to lose, but it can happen, you know? So you got to be able to kind of respect and you got to be able to react the right way to that as well.
Dakota, so far your commitment here to the PFL, their format, everything you've been through so far, what would you say is the biggest lesson you've learned about yourself? Because we've seen a lot of people do this and it's very difficult for them. You are succeeding.
Yeah, I am for sure. I think I'm just completely locked in this year. Like, I live alone now in Florida. Um, I obviously all my family are in the UK. I'm just like back and forth from the gym all the time. I don't really, I mean, I socialize. I've got friends in the gym and stuff, which I'm lucky to have. But my whole life is just dedicated to this sport. And, you know, people do say it's a selfish sport, and it really is. Sometimes, you know, like being away from my family, like my nana is a massive part of my life back home. And she's like 89 years old, and I'm like halfway across the world from her. So, like, sacrifices like that for me just, you know, motivate me to get the job done, stay locked in, and get back home to her and make her proud. So that's kind of just the way I am. I'm dedicating everything to this tournament. You know, before I left the UK, I said I won't be going home until I've won. Like, I won't be returning to the UK until this tournament is done. And that's kind of what's been happening. You know, I've been straight back to training after I've been to my fight, and, you know, I've not been going home, and that's just kind of what I'm going to do until the job's finished. So, yeah.
I imagine when you first got to Florida, there's a wealth of knowledge there, right? I imagine you picked a lot of brains, a lot of techniques, all that stuff. But after a while, does it kind of switch a little bit, and have people maybe leaned on you a little bit for advice and some techniques? Because, you know, as we've stated in this interview, you're pretty badass.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I feel like that's what makes American Top Team one of the best gyms in the world, is the fact that, you know, we learn from each other. Like, even coaches, you know, I learn so much from them, but also they pick our brains, and, like, you know, we've got fighters coming from all over the world, and, like, we learn so many things from each other. It's like one fighter will bring one thing and we'll all work it, you know, and I think that's kind of what makes us evolve so much as fighters here in Florida at ATT. You know, we're constantly learning from each other, not just coaches, and coaches are open to learn new things. It's not like you do this my way and this is the way we're doing it, that's it. You know, that's probably what holds a lot of fighters back. You know, the coaches we have at our gym are always open to learn just as much as the fighters are. So, yeah, for sure.
Your opponent just had her first loss.
Yeah.
And when we have talked to undefeated fighters in the past, you know, following a loss, they feel like it woke them up, it humbled them, the hunger came back. What are you expecting from Jena Bishop now that she's taken that first L? You know, later in her career, let's be honest here, there's a big age gap between you all, but still seems like a skilled fighter. But what do you think? You think that's you might even be fighting the best Jena Bishop ever because of that?
Possibly, yeah, for sure. I have to take that into consideration. You know, she's going to be hungry to come back. She almost was out the tournament. You know, she's still made it, 4th seed. So she's going to be hungry, you know, to make that final. She's not going to want to make the same mistake. And I think obviously she's had a few things to say about me before in the tournament, like who I've been matched against and things like that. So I'm sure she'll be happy to be facing me, and she'll be coming to try and, you know, and stop my hype train, but I don't know whether she'll be the person to do it. No.
That little giggle at the end leads us to believe that you don't think it's gonna happen. It ain't gonna be her night. Your Nana and your other family and friends, will they be up at 3 a.m. to watch this, or do they just wake up early and say, "Okay, what happened? Hit the rewind button"?
Well, my mom, my dad, and my brother, they fly everywhere I fight. We kind of go everywhere together. They've been here the whole tournament. Everywhere I fought, they flew over. So I'm flying them over fight week to watch me. But my nana, she normally wakes up in the morning. I always speak to her the day before, and then she wakes up in the morning and tries to, you know, catch up on her phone. She's got an iPhone now as well, so she keeps up on Facebook and Instagram, and I can FaceTime her. So she's down with the kids these days.
Very smart, Nana. Androids suck. iPhone, it's all about iPhone.
Yeah.
You know, I got a message here. Ask her about the loss a few weeks ago. But you won your last fight, right?
Yeah.
You're undefeated.
They might be talking about
sorry.
football.
They're talking about this loss. What'd you think of that? In the FA Cup final, I know you're all about Man City. That had to hurt, Dakota.
Oh, damn. You know, I was burnt for so long after that. I really was burnt for so long. Everyone was asking about me. Everyone was asking about it in the interviews, and I was like, touchy subject. We don't speak about that anymore. But
well, now it's been a few weeks.
It is what it is. We're still the best team in the world. Like, honestly.
You're not even the best team in England. We won the FA
Cup. I'm not sure about that. I mean, United have got no backbone. United. I'm sorry, but I can't argue nothing. No, I'm not taking any of that. No.
All right, now we know what she's like when she takes an L, man. She's not a good sport there. I thought you were gonna maybe tip your proverbial hat and just go, "All right, guys, you got me."
No, anyway, you're wearing blue today, so you're definitely a secret blue.
Hey, that's true. Huh?
You won't catch my family wearing red, that's for sure.
All right. Well, thanks for being a good sport. Thanks for the time today. We look forward to your fight on August 2nd, PFL 7. The playoffs have started, folks. In my opinion, this is the marquee division. No disrespect to the heavyweights. They can put your lights out like that. But, man, Tyler Santos, Jena Bishop, she's only had one loss. Dakota, undefeated, ices people in the first round. And then Liz Carmouche, we got to give her her respect, a pioneer. She's a champion at Bellator. She's had title defenses, and she's done it everywhere. Strikeforce, UFC. That's why I think I was pushing it, Dakota. This is the marquee division for PFL, in my opinion, name-wise, and the fact that it's exciting. I wish this had been elevated to the main event. But, man, 4 great fighters. I can't wait.
Thank you very much. Thanks for chatting, guys.